See, the description of Rudrakanya and Rudra as per Hinduism by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism as how they have been, amongst many things, great exponents of art forms and complete beings.
Paramashivoham. The description of Rudrakanya can never have tears of pain from your eyes. Understand? If you have tears of pain, you have lost chastity of Rudrakanya. It means the kind of the grounding you need to have and the completion you need to feel within you as Rudrakanya. You need to have, never to have tears in your eyes can happen only by Tantra. When you are grounded, complete with all the emotions of body shaming, good, bad, right, wrong, everything need to be cleansed. All the toxic ideas inserted into your system, shame, guilt, about your body and how you look and how you feel and the ideas of sex, gender, everything, all the false ideas society has inserted into you need to be removed. You need to be detoxified from all that stupid ideas. That's only way. That's only way you will get grounded and become a real Rudrakanya. Every man should become a Rudra and every woman should become Rudrakanya. That is Tantra.
Yes, Nithyananda. So now, so far we have seen the impact of mental well-being, how arts can influence the mental well-being, and especially how Hindu arts, the richness in Hindu arts, and how it can contribute to your mental well-being. And that is what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Swamiji, has established the Nithyananda Sacred Arts University, where 64 Hindu arts are revived. Last 26 plus years of accomplishments involved over 562 metal statues that weighs about 17 tons. All of this are prepared, manufactured, and distributed all across the various de facto spiritual embassies of Kailasa by the Nithyananda Sacred Arts University. Similarly, 2,674 statues that are made of granite has been transported across various de facto spiritual embassies of Kailasa across the world. All of these stone deities weigh about 1 million kg, that is about 1,000 tons. About 482 statues of marble, made of marble, is being transported, and each of these statues that are being transported is subjected to Prana Pratishtha, a sacred process where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism energizes the deity. You can experience these deities are not just the matter, rather they are living deities. They are living forms who will respond to you, who will respond to every single prayer that you have. So similarly, there are about 261 wood statues, vehicles and thrones, jewelry and decoration that is being done in-house for 1,280 deities. Okay. So now we're going to watch a short video, the Nithyananda Sacred Arts University. The Nithyananda Sacred Arts University is established to preserve, revive, and spread the Vedic temple arts, architecture, and artifacts for people to live and experience the rich consciousness-based Vedic heritage. The temple-based arts and architecture is a science based on the perfect frameworks of cosmic laws, sacred geometry, proportion and symmetry, sophisticated mathematical principles, and cardinal directions. This science is grounded on the sacred truth that a temple is a miniature of cosmos comprising the 5 elements and its presiding deities. Every aspect of temple and temple arts, from the size, shape, material, structure, density, the size of halls, pillars, courtyards, the facing directions, to the process of installing the deity and the art forms used, all these are revealed in Vedagamas, the source scriptures such as Stapatya Veda, Vastu Shastra, or Silpa Shastra. The modern architecture has so much to learn from the ancient Vedic temple sciences. Several researchers and studies have proven the indigenous perfection of our Vedic architecture. It has been scientifically proven that the characteristic configuration, geometric configuration of the Hindu temple, built with extraordinary perfection, has significantly increased the strength against earthquake movements, resulting in creation of everlasting, structurally sound structures which are proven earthquake resistant. The temples are living spaces where pure superconscious energy resides in infinite continuum, having its own independent intelligence beyond the time and space. The Nithyananda Sacred Arts University, founded by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagatguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam, is on 2003. It is the world's largest producer of temple arts and deities, with a mission to A. Procure, collect, traditionally make, preserve the temple arts and temple tradition and the cultural heritage. B. To spread the temple arts and architecture in its highest form as a celebrated lifestyle of peace and bliss as per the authentic scriptures. C. To operate as a university of learning the science and applied technology of sacred arts and temple architecture. D. To provide training, livelihood to Stavadis, the generations of temple architects who preserve the rare temple sciences. The vision is also to create a beautifully, highly evolved humanity, a civilization of Vedic species, of new species, following the rich Vedic Hindu life. The Vedic Hindu civilization, both in its lifestyle, tradition, art, and its architecture. Swamiji has envisioned the Pandyan, the Chettinad architecture for the construction of all the buildings, and Madurai architecture for all of the temple construction. The temple construction includes the construction for all the Hindu gods and deities and their vahanas, and just about everything that brings out all the grandeur and galore one can imagine, which is truly inherent to fascinating Hindu tradition. The vision is to build a temple-based civilization, nothing less than comparable to the best civilizations that have ever existed. Some references here are to kindle your imagination of what you can expect. Number 1, Dwaraka, created for Lord Krishna by Vishwakarma. Number 2, Swarnalanka, which is created for Lord Shiva by Vishwakarma. Why these temple-based civilizations are renowned? Primarily, these temple-based civilizations are renowned because of its beauty of art and architecture that is reflected from the beautiful, creative, artistic space and the lifestyles these people are living. So here is an opportunity for each and every one of you to bring out the reflection of your artistic, creative side and contribute to this magnificent civilization to be. The university is spelled, if you see the Sacred Arts University, it is actually spelled with C. Just it means that reviving and reinstating the glory, grandeur, and richness of Hinduism across the world. You can see here the making of deity, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasanidanand, His Divine Holiness Swamiji. How these deities are made to its precision. Once when these deities are energized by Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, they become alive. They respond to each one of your prayers. There are millions of devotees who have experienced such beautiful miracles when they connected with the deities in Nithyananda Paramashivam Devalayas, established by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasanidanand, His Divine Holiness Swamiji. So what you're seeing here is a 15 feet tall deity of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, who is blessing the world in the form of Paramashiva himself, the tallest ever deity made by the Nithyananda Sacred Arts Ministry till date. And here you're seeing the beautifully crafted life-size deity of Swamiji, who's standing and blessing the world in the most compassionate form, Abhaya Varada Murti. And this is the quarry to identify the best stones for the deification project. You can see here how these stones are picked from these quarries, selecting and analyzing the quality of stone proposed to be procured. You'll be so surprised to know that each of these stones, they have a particular gender. So just based on the sound that is being produced when you tap the stone, their gender is identified, and each gender is specifically used in the temple arts. Male stone is used for a specific purpose and female stone is used for specific purpose. So you can see how much of precision is involved. And especially to know that in Hinduism, even a stone has life, has consciousness. That is how rich our tradition is. And the arrival of the stones for deification process. So once you select the stone, then we start carving the stone. You can see here how these deities are beautifully carved, and even the instruments that are used to measure these deities, everything is prescribed as per Agama. Whatever is prescribed as per Agama, those instruments, those techniques and methodologies are only deployed in Nithyananda Sacred Arts University. You can see here beautiful bodials and simums, an ornamental feature on every pillar about each Yajamana and Karta. So once you identify, yes, we just went on through this. Now, after you make the deity, what happens? After you make the deity, we ship these deities to Nithyanandeshwara Hindu temples across the world. Once these deities are shipped across the world, the Prana Pratishta process takes place, where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself attends to this process. He himself energizes the deity, makes the deity breathe, live, and respond to each of our prayers. So apart from that, there are a number of stone pillars that are being restored from old temples. And these stone pillars are reused. You can see here, thousands of stone pillars are being restored, and how these stone pillars are being reused. So here is a wonderful opportunity for you to be part of this happening. When you come to COVID care protection centers, you have this amazing opportunity to be part of this Hindu Renaissance. You can learn Hindu arts, how these Hindu arts empower your being, how these Hindu arts truly enrich your being. You can be a witness to that happening. So we invite you to be part of the COVID Care Protection Center, especially during Corona pandemic, when you significantly feel the impact of how your mental well-being is being affected due to ongoing pandemic. In this case, we invite you to experience the conscious sovereignty by being part of this COVID Care Protection Center. You can register yourself through the link below, kailasa.org/Kailasa Care. KAILASA.org/KAILASACARE. So let's take 2 minutes to register ourselves in kailasa.org/Kailasa Care. Sorry for the technical glitch. Now, let us look into the revelations to the world by Devi Parashakti. On 12th of May 2021, the Devi Parashakti manifested through the Nijavadara, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasanidana, His Divine Holiness Swamiji. She revealed that I came as Nijavatara. I am blessing you. Listen. People, listen. To do good to all of you, I have taken the form of Nithyananda and came down as the Nijavatara. People of India, listen. Carefully listen. Time after time, Bharadam is a Jnana Bhumi where enlightened being comes. We cannot make the Jnana Bhumi as infertile. Enlightened beings have to come. They have to live, it has to flower. Few hypocrites, because they are stuck in delusion, we cannot sacrifice the world. Cosmos cannot be destroyed. The ship I did to save the cosmos from being destroyed, that is called Adi Kailasa. The ship I did to protect the beings from Pralaya is Adi Kailasa. Because of the conspiracy of Drohis and enemies rule, the captain has to leave the ship. Before 12 years, knowing the great deluge that is going to happen on the Aushidas, by this Guru Purnima, that Jnana Rasavadam, Navabhashana is going to flower. I love people to come and take a dip in Navabhashana flower. People, whoever comes and dips in Vaidya Sarovar, they will not have death. They will not have corona. Crores and crores of people will come in line. Every day they will come and dip in Ananda Lingam. Listen well to my words. For India, I made the ship as protection. The Nithyananda Navabhashana Lingam in Vaidya Sarovar. Go to Adi Kailasa. O Indians, listen. All those regretting losing the Nithyananda Nijavatara without confusion and without talking, just as the lip service, go to Adi Kailasa. Crores of people will come there looking for health, Navabhashana water feast, and medicine. To get health and protection and enlightenment. To protect India from great destruction, I, Parashakti, made this huge ship. Even if the captain of the ship is not there, ship is there. On 14th of May 2021, Devi Parashakti further revealed that whoever comes to Adi Kailasa and does the good work of saving people from deadly corona, I myself will do all of their life work. This is a commitment. Paramashakti is giving you all. Parameshwari, I will do what I say. To save people from corona, I have set a huge ship, Ananda Sarovar, Vaidya Sarovar, and Ananda Lingam. I have made it in Adi Kailasa. Go there, take water every day, worship the Ananda Lingam. Water, turmeric, milk, and neem rasam, showered on Navabhashanam, are the medicines of this. On 19th of May 2021, she further revealed that the doors of Adi Kailasa will be open for all those who come with trust. It will protect the body and gives you the conscious health. It will also give the highest powers, dharma, artha, moksha, jnana, powers, kama, and the God beyond kama. Adi Kailasa, life will give you all goodness. On 31st of May 2021, the hell of Kirimi Bhojanam, mentioned by Vyasa in Garuda Purana, has opened and is directly falling on India as thunder. Running to Adi Kailasa and preventing it is the only way. I have opened Adi Kailasa. For those who want to save their lives, all of you run to Adi Kailasa. on 11th of June 2021, drop the foolish mind with the business motive of bargaining and attaining surrender and go to Adi Kailasa. Be in Adi Kailasa. I will do good to you. For saving your life, go to Adi Kailasa. Best life is there. Best, before Corona takes your life away, go to Adi Kailasa and save your life. The soil of Adi Kailasa is a Sarva Roga Nivarani, the cure of all the diseases. For all the diseases in the world, Paramasakti, myself taking the form of Nithyananda as Nijavatara, walking there barefoot for many years, manifesting all the powers, the very soil was converted into Vedic medicine that solves all the karmas. Taking the soil of Adi Kailash and mixing it with the water of Navabhashana Linga of Vaidya Sarovar and applying it, all the pains will vanish. Breaking the attachment to body, it will make you to enlightened. Goodness is there. I told the truth. Go to Adi Kailasa. When the first world countries closed their borders during this massive global emergency, Kailasa has opened its door to one and all without exception. Kailasa has opened the free COVID care protection centers to one and all, including the Adi Kailash in Bidadi, Salem Adinam in Tamil Nadu, Tiruvannamalai Adinam in Tamil Nadu, Rajapalayam in Tamil Nadu, Puduvai Adinam in Tamil Nadu, Pattanam Adinam in Tamil Nadu, Siragapadi in Tamil Nadu, Sripuram Adinam in Hyderabad, Madurai Adinam in Tamil Nadu, Avatti Valayam in Tamil Nadu, Hosur Adinam in Tamil Nadu, Baroda Adinam in Gujarat. Multiple free COVID care protection centers are opened across India, which includes various social services and spiritual services. Various social services includes the medical care, infrastructure to accommodate thousands, accommodation for multi-layered quarantine, emergency ambulances, ICU on wheels, personal protective medical equipment, food security management through food banks, organic farming. So in these COVID care protection centers, we also empowered the participants to be part of the Sacred Arts University. There are a number of participants who learned so many art forms, especially the Hindu art forms, and how they beautifully evolved to acclaim their conscious sovereignty. So you can see here, the participants were involved in making of beautiful copper deities. So micro detailed deities. So that involved the first step of wax molding. So you can see here, there is a center stalk made of wax that also has the various deities that we want to make from copper. And the second step is the mud mold, which is made of plaster of Paris, POP mold. So this is Madesh Ayya, who has come here to Adi Kailash as a COVID care protection center participant. And after you make the mold, the next step is burn out and the pouring process. So you take the mold, and keep it in hot air oven, which will be tuned to high temperatures, about 1200 degrees C. And after that, finally, the finishing process. So this is Prabhananda Maharaj, so who's also a COVID care protection center participant, who's recently taken sannyas, and he is part of the Sacred Arts University. Yes, so this is how beautiful the copper deities are made. You can see the intricate details. The first row you see the Kala Bhairava, Lord Bhagavan Kala Bhairava. The next you see the emblem of Kailasa, Nithyanandeshwara Paramashivam, and Devi Nithyanandeshwari Parashakti, along with the Nijavatara, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Swamiji. And in the last row, you can see the Mahasadashiva along with Devi. You can see here how the deities are beautifully made from the copper mold. Apart from this, they are also involved in all the temple celebrations. They learn the art of making garlands and how to place these garlands around the deities. Alankaram. So you have this amazing opportunity to be part of this COVID Care Protection Center. We welcome each and every one of you to join this COVID Care Protection Center. Do not miss this opportunity because this is once in lifetime, especially during Corona pandemic, how it has affected your mental well-being. This is a time for you to reclaim your conscious sovereignty by being part of this COVID Care Protection Center. You can register yourself in kailasa.org/Kailasa Care, KAILASA.org/KAILASACARE. So let's take a few minutes for us to join the COVID Care Protection Center. So next we have a very interesting segment. So with no further delay, we'll wait for the next segment to start. Meanwhile, the viewers can register yourself to be part of this COVID Care Protection Center in Adi Kailasa Nithyananda Paramashivam. You can register yourself in the links below.
காளியின் ஆட்டத்தை ஆனந்தத்தை ஆனந்தத்தொடு ஆடிய ஆட்டத்தை கண்டோர் உயிருக்குளெல்லாம் இறங்கி குண்டலினி உயிர்ப்பிக்கச் செய்து மாய மனத்தின் இருளை அகற்றி மாயம் அழித்து மங்களம் தந்து குரு பக்தியும் சிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ சக்தியும் அளிக்கின்றேன். மனமாயை விடுத்து குரு பதத்தை பற்றுங்கள். நித்யானந்தமாய் நிஜாவதாரமாய் வந்துதித்த என்னை பற்றி வாழ்வில் எல்லா நலமும் பெற்றிடுங்கள். ஓம் ஓம் ஓம்.
யாதுமாகி நின்றாய் காளி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி.
ஓம் 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 ஓம். காளியின் ஆட்டத்தை ஆனந்தத்தை ஆனந்தத்தொடு ஆடிய ஆட்டத்தை கண்டோர் உயிருக்குளெல்லாம் இறங்கி குண்டலினி உயிர்ப்பிக்கச் செய்து மாய மனத்தின் இருளை அகற்றி மாயம் அழித்து மங்களம் தந்து குரு பக்தியும் சிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ சக்தியும் அளிக்கின்றேன். மனமாயை விடுத்து குரு பதத்தை பற்றுங்கள். நித்யானந்தமாய் நிஜாவதாரமாய் வந்துதித்த என்னை பற்றி வாழ்வில் எல்லா நலமும் பெற்றிடுங்கள். ஓம் ஓம் ஓம்.
யாதுமாகி நின்றாய் காளி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி.
ஓம் 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 ஓம். காளியின் ஆட்டத்தை ஆனந்தத்தை ஆனந்தத்தொடு ஆடிய ஆட்டத்தை கண்டோர் உயிருக்குளெல்லாம் இறங்கி குண்டலினிவில் உயிர்ப்பிக்கச் செய்து மாய மனத்தின் இருளை அகற்றி மாயம் அழித்து மங்களம் தந்து குரு பக்தியும் சிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ சக்தியும் அளிக்கின்றேன். மனமாயை விடுத்து குரு பதத்தை பற்றுங்கள். நித்யானந்தமாய் நிஜாவதாரமாய் வந்துதித்த என்னை பற்றி வாழ்வில் எல்லா நலமும் பெற்றிடுங்கள். ஓம் ஓம் ஓம்.
யாதுமாகி நின்றாய் காளி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி.
ஓம் 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 ஓம். காளியின் ஆட்டத்தை ஆனந்தத்தை ஆனந்தத்தொடு ஆடிய ஆட்டத்தை கண்டோர் உயிருக்குளெல்லாம் இறங்கி குண்டலினிவில் உயிர்ப்பிக்கச் செய்து மாய மனத்தின் இருளை அகற்றி மாயம் அழித்து மங்களம் தந்து குரு பக்தியும் சிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ சக்தியும் அளிக்கின்றேன். மனமாயை விடுத்து குரு பதத்தை பற்றுங்கள். நித்யானந்தமாய் நிஜாவதாரமாய் வந்துதித்த என்னை பற்றி வாழ்வில் எல்லா நலமும் பெற்றிடுங்கள். ஓம் ஓம் ஓம்.
யாதுமாகி நின்றாய் காளி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி.
ஓம் 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 ஓம். காளியின் ஆட்டத்தை ஆனந்தத்தை ஆனந்தத்தொடு ஆடிய ஆட்டத்தை கண்டோர் உயிருக்குளெல்லாம் இறங்கி குண்டலினிவில் உயிர்ப்பிக்கச் செய்து மாய மனத்தின் இருளை அகற்றி மாயம் அழித்து மங்களம் தந்து குரு பக்தியும் சிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ சக்தியும் அளிக்கின்றேன். மனமாயை விடுத்து குரு பதத்தை பற்றுங்கள். நித்யானந்தமாய் நிஜாவதாரமாய் வந்துதித்த என்னை பற்றி வாழ்வில் எல்லா நலமும் பெற்றிடுங்கள். ஓம் ஓம் ஓம்.
யாதுமாகி நின்றாய் காளி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி.
ஓம் 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 ஓம். காளியின் ஆட்டத்தை ஆனந்தத்தை ஆனந்தத்தொடு ஆடிய ஆட்டத்தை கண்டோர் உயிருக்குளெல்லாம் இறங்கி குண்டலினிவில் உயிர்ப்பிக்கச் செய்து மாய மனத்தின் இருளை அகற்றி மாயம் அழித்து மங்களம் தந்து குரு பக்தியும் சிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ சக்தியும் அளிக்கின்றேன். மனமாயை விடுத்து குரு பதத்தை பற்றுங்கள். நித்யானந்தமாய் நிஜாவதாரமாய் வந்துதித்த என்னை பற்றி வாழ்வில் எல்லா நலமும் பெற்றிடுங்கள். ஓம் ஓம் ஓம்.
யாதுமாகி நின்றாய் காளி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி.
ஓம் 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 ஓம். காளியின் ஆட்டத்தை ஆனந்தத்தை ஆனந்தத்தொடு ஆடிய ஆட்டத்தை கண்டோர் உயிருக்குளெல்லாம் இறங்கி குண்டலினிவில் உயிர்ப்பிக்கச் செய்து மாய மனத்தின் இருளை அகற்றி மாயம் அழித்து மங்களம் தந்து குரு பக்தியும் சிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ சக்தியும் அளிக்கின்றேன். மனமாயை விடுத்து குரு பதத்தை பற்றுங்கள். நித்யானந்தமாய் நிஜாவதாரமாய் வந்துதித்த என்னை பற்றி வாழ்வில் எல்லா நலமும் பெற்றிடுங்கள். ஓம் ஓம் ஓம்.
யாதுமாகி நின்றாய் காளி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி.
ஓம் 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 ஓம். காளியின் ஆட்டத்தை ஆனந்தத்தை ஆனந்தத்தொடு ஆடிய ஆட்டத்தை கண்டோர் உயிருக்குளெல்லாம் இறங்கி குண்டலினிவில் உயிர்ப்பிக்கச் செய்து மாய மனத்தின் இருளை அகற்றி மாயம் அழித்து மங்களம் தந்து குரு பக்தியும் சிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ சக்தியும் அளிக்கின்றேன். மனமாயை விடுத்து குரு பதத்தை பற்றுங்கள். நித்யானந்தமாய் நிஜாவதாரமாய் வந்துதித்த என்னை பற்றி வாழ்வில் எல்லா நலமும் பெற்றிடுங்கள். ஓம் ஓம் ஓம்.
யாதுமாகி நின்றாய் காளி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி.
ஓம் 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 ஓம். காளியின் ஆட்டத்தை ஆனந்தத்தை ஆனந்தத்தொடு ஆடிய ஆட்டத்தை கண்டோர் உயிருக்குளெல்லாம் இறங்கி குண்டலினி உயிர்ப்பிக்க செய்து மாய மனத்தின் இருளை அகற்றி மாயம் அழித்து மங்களம் தந்து குரு பக்தியும் சிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ சக்தியும் அளிக்கின்றேன். மனமாயை விடுத்து குரு பதத்தை பற்றுங்கள். நித்யானந்தமாய் நிஜாவதாரமாய் வந்துதித்த என்னை பற்றி வாழ்வில் எல்லா நலமும் பெற்றிடுங்கள். ஓம் ஓம் ஓம்.
யாதுமாகி நின்றாய் காளி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி.
ஓம் 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 ஓம். காளியின் ஆட்டத்தை ஆனந்தத்தை ஆனந்தத்தொடு ஆடிய ஆட்டத்தை கண்டோர் உயிருக்குளெல்லாம் இறங்கி குண்டலினி உயிர்ப்பிக்க செய்து மாய மனத்தின் இருளை அகற்றி மாயம் அழித்து மங்களம் தந்து குரு பக்தியும் சிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ சக்தியும் அளிக்கின்றேன். மனமாயை விடுத்து குரு பதத்தை பற்றுங்கள். நித்யானந்தமாய் நிஜாவதாரமாய் வந்துதித்த என்னை பற்றி வாழ்வில் எல்லா நலமும் பெற்றிடுங்கள். ஓம் ஓம் ஓம்.
யாதுமாகி நின்றாய் காளி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி.
ஓம் 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 ஓம். காளியின் ஆட்டத்தை ஆனந்தத்தை ஆனந்தத்தொடு ஆடிய ஆட்டத்தை கண்டோர் உயிருக்குளெல்லாம் இறங்கி குண்டலினி உயிர்ப்பிக்க செய்து மாய மனத்தின் இருளை அகற்றி மாயம் அழித்து மங்களம் தந்து குரு பக்தியும்
சிவபக்தியும் பரமசிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ சக்தியும் அளிக்கின்றேன். மனமாயை விடுத்து குருபதத்தை பற்றுங்கள். நித்யானந்தமாய் நிஜாவதாரமாய் வந்துதித்த என்னை பற்றி வாழ்வில் எல்லா நலமும் பெற்றிடுங்கள். ஓம் ஓம் ஓம்.
யாதுமாகி நின்றாய் காளி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி.
ஓம் 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 ஓம். காளியின் ஆட்டத்தை ஆனந்தத்தை ஆனந்த.
Nithyanandam, welcome back to all the viewers after that very quick break that we had. And I'm so happy, and it's always such a joy to be able to announce to every single one of the viewers right now who are joining from all over the world, from different Kailasas, all the celebrated Kailasians across the world. We are eagerly awaiting the grace, the presence of Devi Parashakti herself, which is going to be live at 10 p.m. tonight, Indian Standard Time. And if you are in the Pacific time zone, then 9:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So ensure that you are tuning in, share with all your friends, and make sure that you're not missing it. Make sure your family, your friends, and anyone who you feel will benefit deeply from this divine encounter with the divine. You can immediately notify them, notify your friends and family, and ensure that everyone is joining in for the live Parashakti Akashic reading that is going to be at 10 p.m. Indian Standard Time. So ensure that you are sharing the news, and we're now going to be hearing from a few of the devotees, their heartfelt sharings about how Devi Parashakti has intervened in their life, has brought a stop to so much of different kinds of pain, suffering, grief, especially during this time of the coronavirus pandemic that we have been suffering from and have been undergoing for the last 1.5 years, more than 1.5 years, and honestly with no end in sight. This year has been extremely strenuous, especially over the past few months, just for India and just for Hindus across the world. Whether you are in India physically or whether you are abroad, you are hearing about your loved ones who are going through the worst time in their lives and not even being able to be with them physically when they are undergoing so much and even losing their life in their last moments. And in these times, we have heard and are hearing the stories of people who are literally coming back from that brink of a health care, and are sharing their sharings on how they have healed from so much. They have been able to see so much of transformation in their lives, not just within the last few months, but over the last 2 years, since the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has ensured across Kailasa, across the world, so many different places. We've been seeing the healing sharings and hearing about the stories of so much of transformation. Just the other day, I was shocked to be able to hear how one woman was able to simply forgo her severe back pain, which doctors were unable to diagnose and unable to treat, and which stopped her from bending down, or stopped her from sitting down on the ground. And her entire life was literally put into so much of peril because of this one seemingly simple back pain. And we've heard so many stories, even from people who have, in this global economic crisis, have actually found a breakthrough in their lives and have found a job even in this global climate. And today we're going to be hearing the sharings of more devotees of Swamiji, of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, who have literally been able to see in their lives a transformation that is absolutely unheard of, that you might call miraculous in this day and age, but we know it is a pure science and it's reproducible, and it has grounded evidence and based in so much of different laws, philosophies that Sanatana Hindu Dharma, the Vedic rishis, understood and were taught by Paramashivoham himself. So it's my pleasure to be able to introduce to you today some of the devotees who are coming forward and bravely sharing their story on this platform. And I would love to see your comments and your comments as we are going forward. Perhaps if you have a question, you can ask it, or if you'd like to share your own experience during the Devi Baba Samadhi Darshan, or during the last 2 years as we are still in the same situation. If you'd like to reflect on how Swamiji has literally brought a breakthrough in your life, then I would love to invite you to join us in the comments section, and shortly I'll be also able to see your comments and interact with you, perhaps read a few out loud, and we can share amongst ourselves about and get ready together for the Devi Parashakti Darshan, the live darshan, which is once again happening at 10 o'clock. So before we go on into today's sharings, and I get to introduce to you some of the most touching sharings that you will ever hear, then I would love to invite each and every one of you once again to share the news that there's going to be the live Parashakti Akashic reading at 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. Indian Standard Time, and 9:30 Pacific Standard Time. So don't miss this, and ensure that you are sharing in as many platforms with all your friends. Share on WhatsApp with everyone. Just send a message across and say, hey, I think you'd like to join this, see this. Especially nowadays, the truth is, for a fact, that due to the lockdown and due to the plague and the pandemic, which has been plaguing the streets of India, even in our own country, in that beautiful kshetra with so many thousands of temples, we ourselves are not able to we're not able to step out of our homes and go to temple as we do, and we're not able to even go to the temple, even our local temple, if we wanted to, without sparing our life and without giving a huge risk to our lives. It's at this time that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is bringing that darshan experience, the ultimate gratitude of our lifetime, and the bouncing board that you can use to experience oneness in your life, to you, wherever you are, on your couch, in your bedroom, in your living room, wherever you are, and to experience yourself completely and experience oneness in your life. Ultimately, the deep feeling connection and manifesting extraordinary Shaktis, living that extraordinary life. So once again, you can also get prepared your own questions. If you want to request Devi Parashakti any boons, or request her sage wisdom on the past, present, and future, you can always get prepared right now. And shortly we will be entering into the Bhava Samadhi Darshan and the Paramashivoham mantra, where we'll be entering into a very sacred experience. I also invite all of the viewers, if you'd like to offer some naivedyam to Devi Parashakti, perhaps even dry fruits, if you have in your home, raisins or any kinds of dry fruits or nuts, that's something simple that you can offer. If you'd like to take some time right now, which you have, and make a sweet dish, or make, maybe some chakra pongal or something that'll take a few minutes, and you can just make a small dish for Devi Parashakti. You can get prepared for the live darshan in this way, and get prepared. While you're preparing, you can join us and stay tuned while we hear the most profound sharings from very, very blessed devotees. And I also invite each and every one of the viewers, if you are interested today, if you feel so moved by gratitude in your life, I invite you, if you'd like to, you can go to youtube.com and join as a member of our Kailasa's HDH Nithyananda YouTube channel, which is the official YouTube channel of Kailasa and as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So you can go ahead and go there, and in order to make sure you are joined as a member, you're able to get all the notifications of the live satsangs, the live dikshas or darshans, and you're getting notification every time there's a new video. And these videos are very, very important, never to miss, especially if they are revealing such profound truths on Sanatana Hindu Dharma. And also, if you'd like to, you can make a donation through the e-hundi, which is on the YouTube super chat. You can use that feature on YouTube and make a donation, and just offer your gratitude to Devi Parashakti for gracing us today. So today we have joining with us Ma Saroj, Nithyananda Ma. Thank you so much for joining. It's very nice to meet you. It's very nice to speak to you. And I really thank you for joining us on this platform where we have hundreds, thousands of viewers who are viewing right now, especially as we are gathering for the live darshan of Devi Parashakti. And there's so many people who are eagerly awaiting the darshan of Devi Parashakti. And I was actually just hearing about your sharing, your transformation, and the healing that you had. That was absolutely touched mine. I'm very looking forward to hearing more of your sharing as we share on this platform today, and for all of the viewers out there. So thank you so much for joining, Ma.
Thank you. It's really my privilege. I feel very honored, very fortunate that I was somehow, Swamiji chose me to connect with him. I can't tell you, it has been non-stop. I've had non-stop crisis and I've had non-stop blessings, is the only way I can put it. Last year, I was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And it was a shock because I was really fit before that. I have to say that when I was given the diagnosis, at that moment, my faith was so strong that I expected to completely heal. And that attitude of mine did help the clinicians to feel positive about the whole thing and give the medication, chemotherapy. When I had the first one, because they felt so confident with me, they gave me a massive dose, which actually is given to much younger people. I reacted very badly and I ended up in ICU. When I was going there in the ambulance, I had this kantmala. I did open it. I tried to put some Jnananjana there. It was quite dry, but I still spread it. And I just said, Swamiji, save my life. Save my life. And I was actually having fits at that time because my sodium was extremely low. And the the chap who was in the ambulance wasn't very experienced. He got very nervous. And it took a long time to reach the hospital because the hospital they were taking me to was further away. God knows it was just the wrong decision, but here you were. And I was so frightened as I could see my life ebbing away from me. And all I could do was to say, Swamiji, help me, save my life, save my life. I'm just stuck to that. Finally, we did reach the hospital. And they said to me, we don't believe there's somebody with that low sodium. How come you are totally, completely compos mentis? We expect you to be completely delirious, gone. But no, I was totally compos mentis. I was telling them what medication I'm on, what I need, all that stuff. And they treated me, and I got saved, went back to ward, and the problem started again. And so I had to go back to ICU yet again. But the long and short is that much as I was calling him and I was really frightened for a while, he was there for me. He was there for me throughout. So I had a year-long treatment, and I'm now totally, completely in the clear. I've had several incidents. My grandson, who was then 16, no, even less, maybe 15, he had a very serious mishap. He had a very infectious appendix, which wasn't diagnosed in time, and it burst. And he ended up in accident emergency 3 times. The 3rd time they admitted him. And then they had to operate, and it took 4.5 hours for something that would normally take half an hour. And I was so frightened because I know, because I'm a doctor, I know what I'm expecting. And this wasn't right. Something was dreadfully wrong. And I called Mahatma there, and I said, and I kept ringing, and she just answered. And I said, look, we need to save his life. This is just dreadful. This is what's happening. So she told me, she invoked Swamiji. And Swamiji picked my grandson Zaki up. And she said, Swamiji is taking care. He will be fine. 4.5 hours it took Professor of Surgery to operate on him. And he said, it took all my training to save his life. And he came, and he's completely healed.
Wow.
I had a very traumatic experience with my husband 4 years ago when he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. And it was really bad. And Swamiji said, okay, he will take care, he will heal. And he also reacted extremely badly to his chemo. And he ended up in ICU when he had no blood cells to fight, white blood cells to fight. And it was so bad that they actually said to me, we want to take his tube out and let him go. Oh. But I thought, no, Swamiji said he will save him. So I said, no. And everybody thought I was crazy. And they said, you're a medic. How can you say that? He doesn't have a chance. And I said, no, just don't take his tube out. And it took nearly 2.5 months in the hospital, nearly 3 months. He did come home. He did walk. He did talk. He did eat. Everything they said he would never do, he did.
Wow.
And when he was passing away, my sister, who introduced me to Swamiji, was actually with Swamiji at that time. She had gone for some Paramashivoham program. And she had got lots of mandalas. But for some reason, and she had airshipped them, but for some reason, one got left. So she had to carry it to my house. She came, stopped on the way. She lives in America. She stopped on the way and she said, she asked them, can he have this? And they said yes. So when he was passing away, Mahatma there said, put mandala on him, which I did. And we were playing Shivoham, which Anand Murthy had sung. And he passed away so quietly. I was sitting next to him, I didn't even know. And he was supposed to be most painful cancer. He didn't have it. He just passed away. So then I went to Birdi at that time, and Swamiji was there. And I said, Swamiji, I'm doing this Pratyakshapad Puja for my husband, for you to liberate him. And he said, already done that. Yes. I have to say, Swamiji has grown on me more and more as time is going. I really cannot imagine my life without him. I mean, there are so many things he has helped that I can't count. Serious stuff. Things that don't look possible. Things that look totally impossible. And I would say it's just put it at his feet. And he does something. I don't know how it happens, but every time you can say it's miracle, but it's divine. It's his Leela. He just always helps you and everyone. He doesn't pass judgment. He doesn't criticize. He just loves everyone. And when you connect and you ask, he always gives. He just gives non-stop. I don't know how else to put. I will say that's my biggest fortune in this life, to have come across him and then fortunately to embrace him. So this is, it's non-stop. It's every day. Things are not looking right, good, bad, and you turn around and say, well, I'll leave it to you, Swamiji. I know deep down you can turn it around. I know you can turn it around. And it happened.
Go ahead, Ma. Sorry.
Now I'm just saying it happens from little things to big things. Anytime I will say to anybody who feels, because there are times you begin to have doubts, you begin to lose confidence or feel powerless or feel guilty. Just chant Mahavakya. Just keep chanting. He connects, he sorts. I don't know how it happens, but just keep chanting. I will say to anyone, try. Just try.
So beautiful, Ma. I really am so moved by your sharing and how eloquently you put it, how beautifully and I can really feel, I was so just touched and moved by how deeply you connected with Swamiji. And that honestly is what is coming through right now. And I feel really much a lot that all the viewers can see it too, just through your story. And I remember recently Swamiji had been sharing about, just if you connect with me as I introduce myself to you, if you connect with me as Paramashiva, as I introduce myself to you, that is all we need in order to manifest conscious sovereignty. And I feel that honestly, your whole sharing is such a beautiful example of that. Swamiji just could have been speaking about you in that satsang, where simply from the very beginning, you just had your life surrendered to him. You knew that he was going to take care. And even when you are in the most dire situation and you're not sure what's going on, Swamiji is the one that you connect to, and he's the one who's literally taking you through that experience. I just
Absolutely. I mean, even last year, I think was it when the COVID, just as the COVID started, my son-in-law got a very bad one. And they said it's 50-50. I mean, all these things happened in such a short time. And it was the most frightening. You didn't know, you couldn't breathe properly. And I'm sending messages and Manyanatma and everyone, please help. Just Anyanatma said, somebody will take care. He's always, and I'm just looking and constantly chanting and praying. And one of his devotees in Houston, where my sister lives, he said, by midday it will turn around. And that morning he had gone for the worst. So I said, how will he turn around? It's gone the other way. The platelets are really down. And my heart was sinking. And he said, Ma, wait till midday. And yes, by midday, turned around.
Wow.
And he was up and away. And I honestly know that I owe my life, my son-in-law's life, my grandson's life, my husband's liberation. My son is going through very bad divorce, but he's keeping his consciousness alive. He's living life well. He's coping. All thanks to Swamiji. It was not possible. And I was looking at his eldest daughter, who is 11. She was obviously told some not very good things. And so she came, she wouldn't even say hello to me or say goodbye. If I offered her anything, she wouldn't take, she would just turn around. That same girl can't stop hugging me now. And I was praying, I was saying, Swamiji, I can't take this is so painful, And like I said, it's just non-stop. It is honestly non-stop. The showering, he's there. He's just waiting for you to connect with him. Other thing I quite like is when we are praying, when we are first starting Guru Vandana. And I really, Nithyanandam Paramashivoham, that does to me. Paramashivoham. Kevalam Jnanamurtam, only one who gives me all the gyan. And then Dvandvatritam, no Dvandva, Gagna Sadarsham. And then the punchline, Tattvamasya Adilaksham. So I have to keep reminding when I'm feeling down and I feel not right or doubts come, his only mission is your enlightenment. Tattvamasya Laksham. So every word, Ekam, eternal, look at that. Oneness, eternal, you can't move, he's there forever, strong. Ekam Nityam Vimlam Achalam, can't move, he's totally soft but strong. Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam, he is Sakshi for the whole Dhartima. He's Sakshi, he's looking at everything, he knows everything. Every single word is most meaningful.
Yes. So beautiful, Ma. And I just really taken away in awe of your beautiful connection with Swamiji. How beautifully you explained also the Guru Vandanam.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, as I say it, I'm trying to say to myself, hey, there is no Dvanda. This is Gagna Sadasham. Tattvamasya Vilaksham. That's all his Laksham. This is how he is. Ekam Nityam Vimlam Achalam. Sarvadi Sakributam. And Bhava and Ignaratam. There are no. He's just beyond Bhava, beyond Guna. So it's just trying to get that Anpurna mantra. Just have to keep reminding, I'm part of you, you're part of me. When I'm focusing on my Anand Gandhavya, you and me are one. Purna mantra, we are one. That is how wonderful it does. I'm far from perfect because I'm not doing million things that I would like to, and I want to do nirahara more, and I sometimes have garlic and onion and things, and but I'm just decided he loves me as I am. I love him from my heart, warts and all.
Beautiful, Ma. Thank you so much for opening this very, very intimate sharing for all of the viewers. For me, especially, I feel especially blessed to be able to hear it directly from you and also share it with all the viewers who are joining with us. And I would like to just say for the viewers that it's not just one woman who has been through so much and has seen through it because of the blessings of Swamiji, or as she says, simply because of her strong feeling connection and with Swamiji. And she has continuously been facing so much, and yet there have always been, Swamiji has always been there. And I just love the words that you said, Ma, that you knew when you just called out to Swamiji, you at that moment when you were when you were in that like literally physical crisis and you're not sure what's going on, and such a health scare. In most situations, people will just forget everything and be completely submerged in that fear. But at that time, what we're holding on to as we feel like we're drowning is Swamiji, and ultimately that's what saves us. And that just that simple connection that invokes Swamiji, and he simply takes us through the rest of the experience. He just carries us through it. I just remember this beautiful story which I heard from Swamiji himself during a very early program, in the Anandaspurana program. He used to say that one man, as he was reflecting on his whole life, he saw that there was always two footprints and on the beach, and it was just a long beach. His whole life was represented in a long beach, and there was two footprints on the shore. And he saw that whenever he was going through a crisis in his life, whenever he was extremely depressed, anxious in his life, or going through a period of time when he was extremely lonely, he saw that there was only one pair of footprints on the sand of his in that point in his life. And he asked God, he said, God, what is this? In my moments of dire need, there's only one pair of footprints. And God says, fool, it's at those times that I'm carrying you. There's only one footprints because those are my footprints, and I'm just carrying you. That I feel is such a beautiful, that's exactly how Swamiji has carried each and every one of us. And whether it is through health, like through these extremely strenuous and scary, just fearful times when we are reminded of our humanness, and in these times especially, and when we're reminded that life is very short, and that that our body is physical in the end and it has to go. And especially in those times, Swamiji is the one who is carrying us through, and ultimately even our body as it is, it's delivered once again by him in that time. And I can say that like he simply protects, he surrounds us with that ultimate love of Paramashiva, and he delivers us to the world once again from that experience with a new profound love for life, newfound inspiration and gratitude for life, which is the gift for that Swamiji gives us ultimately. So
I will say to people who are going through bad crisis, health, whatever.
Yes.
At the very bad point, just to say, they're remembering one thing: there is nothing impossible. That's the thing to remember, because part of me saying this can't happen, that can't happen, especially medically. But then I have to turn it around. There is nothing impossible. Nothing impossible. So people who are going through health crisis or any, please believe me, there is nothing impossible. Just connect and leave it to him. Sometimes what you want may not happen, but it will be the best outcome. Trust me.
Yes.
That happens
Exactly.
too.
Exactly.
That happens too. Sometimes I want something, I'm praying, something else happened. And it was right. It was right decision. Okay. Thank you.
That is the beauty of the connection with Swamiji. And I can say that Swamiji always says, don't tell your problems, don't tell your guru how big your problems are, tell your problems how big your guru is. And that's not just in the very, very scary situations in our lives, but every situation, every single conflict that we're facing on a daily basis, even if it's a small.
Nothing we face is big in his comparison. It may look awful, dreadful, impossible, whatever words you can use. Nothing comes anywhere near him. Nothing. Nothing. Go with that. When things are rough, we all need to have, and this is the lifeline. And I'm going to say, love you, Swamiji. Thank you. Thank you from my heart. It's a small word. It's not good enough. I don't have the words to say thank you or show you my gratitude. I love you. I love you from my heart. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mom. I just wanted to ask, if you don't mind me asking, I don't, at the very beginning, we started off with this very, very profound sharing. If you could share with all the viewers a little bit more about you and when you knew Swamiji, and perhaps you can share a little bit about how you had got connected in the first place, and you had just found Swamiji, and suddenly, of course, we now know how deeply connected you are to Swamiji, but just for the viewers who are perhaps in the same position as many of us before, or for the first time coming to.
I was new. I had no idea about Swamiji at all. And I was kind of lived in a different, very westernized way of living. And well, they came from Hindu family. They didn't do huge lots and misguided in many ways, but that's how the world was. And my sister followed him, that too accidentally. Her husband was a surgeon, and they had a big conference in America where they lived. And she had a bad wrist. And somebody said to her, oh, downstairs, in the conference, so there's another conference or meeting room. And there is a young Swami. This was a long time ago. This will be 2008 or 9, 10. Very early time. He was very young. And so she just went. And he asked, what's wrong, Ma? And she said, I've got this problem and I'm going to have surgery and this wrist hurts. So Swamiji obviously just touched it. And not only as she got healed, she did need surgery. So even her surgeon husband was saying, wow, this is something else. So that was the start. And then he went to Houston, Swamiji, a few times. And they just connected. By then, my son was already having problems with his marriage, though we just tried to pray that it carries on, and then all sorts of issues. No, I think maybe that time he had problems with, he's doing a surgical training and he was finding things very difficult, not clinically, because he's quite able. It's just his mental. He was just having a block with confidence and everything lost. And we just didn't know where to go. And it looked like he may have to leave. And it's just extremely stressful. So my sister was going to Swamiji and I said, please, can you? So she said, send me his photo, which I did. So she posted. So those days we posted things. So she took that photo to Swamiji and put it at his feet. And he just did this. And lo and behold, it changed. And I'm thinking, oh my God. And then he gets married and then the problem starts because she can't have a child. And I'm saying to my sister, oh God, do that. She's going again, same thing. She has a child. Then she can't have a second child, going again, second child. Then the third child came and we thought she was going to be Down syndrome because that's what the ultrasound said. So that was very frightening. Oh my God. So I had actually gone to my sister in Houston and we were doing, she said, why don't you do Pratyaksha Pad Puja? I knew nothing about it. There was a devotees there in their house. So I did Pratyaksha Pad Puja. And I said to Swamiji, I was a bit shy in saying that because I didn't want it to sound like I was anti-girls, which I'm not. I just said, Swamiji, he's already got 2 girls. Can he have a normal baby? And he said, yes, normal baby. So I said, because we were at risk at that time. And then I said, can he have a boy? He said, he'll have a normal baby. So it was very clear to me that this was going to be a third girl, which was okay. But normal baby, thank God, because that's the original test showed that it was a problem. So then Swamiji was supposed to come to England, London, and I came from India the night before and just traveled because I needed to be with him. But then he couldn't come because the problem started in India. And then he did a 2-way connection. Mm. And I asked for blessings for my son's marriage and everything else, and he blessed. But what I want to tell people is that all I was doing is give me, give me, give me. Mm. Okay, I just wanted things from him. But I hadn't made that connection, not really. I just thought somebody could give me something. And I was I was desperate. So I was doing that. And it takes a while. I want people not to give up. Take your time listening to him. And sometimes he's blessing somebody else and you're thinking, oh God, why not me? You just connect because what you want has happened. He's already blessed you. Don't worry about the name. Happens all the time. You're wanting something, you're praying, and then you're thinking, oh God, I just want him to, because he's naming some people and blessing, oh God, why not my name? It did come mind you once, but that was great. But the truth is this, for people who are listening, if the name is not, your name is not mentioned, that actually is almost irrelevant. Well, it's not irrelevant, it's great when he mentions, but what you want, what your sankalpa is, what you are praying for, you sit there and you tell him, it's done. It's done. That's what counts at the end of the day. Okay. So anytime the fear grabs, we all have this. Anytime something looks, oh my God, this is the end of the world. Just connect, just chant. Chant away even if you don't feel like it. Chant away, you don't want anything. Just chant away. Just chant away. So don't think that, oh, I'm not getting that connection. It took me quite some time. It took me a few years. So don't think that it happens. For some people, it's just like that. For others, it takes time. So there isn't a single formula. So don't give up. Don't feel that if I don't have that connection, these people, somebody may listen to me now and think, oh my God, well, I'm not there. I was not there. Even when I met him personally in Biddi, I prayed and I did everything and Pratyaksha Puja, everything, because I was worried about my son even at that time. But that connection was there, but not really that deeper. The depth comes, sometimes it just comes. But for me, it took a long time. So I want people to know that don't feel desperate and look at others and say, I used to think, well, they're all right. They have a Vachari connection. They are very close. I'm not that level. I'm not good enough. I'm not there, you know? But he's not counting. We are. He's not counting. The moment you feel that connection and you feel that moment is the nirvana moment. Don't worry about it. The people may be the biggest sannyasis, as Swamiji said, they may be biggest this, that. Ye make your personal connection. He will connect. He's open to every single one. Is how we feel in our heart is all he cares.
So beautiful, Ma. It is so touching, moving to hear your sharing, and such eloquently put, I can say. Perhaps one of the most poetic descriptions that I've heard on NTV about your life experience, and so much like oozing devotion. I'm just absolutely moved by it, and I will never be able to forget this sharing specifically, Ma. Thank you so much for joining with us and for sharing with all of the viewers this with your life story, your connection with Swamiji, and some of the most scariest moments in your life. Thank you so much, Ma. And now we are going to be.
Please don't give up. Please don't give up. Take your time. Take your time.
Yes, thank you so much, Ma'am. Thank you for joining us on NTV. And now, for all the viewers out there, I hope as much as me, you're simply oozing with that devotion, melting in devotion with Devi Parashakti, with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Now, I invite each and every one of you. We'll be shortly beginning the preparation for the Bhava Samadhi Darshan, the live darshan of Devi Parashakti, and just with that same space that we are now in, that Ma Saroj has shared, and that beautiful space of feeling connection with our Guru, with our beloved guide, who is taking us forward in this very dark universe at this moment in time. Let us enter into the next segment of today's program. Let's get ready and prepare ourselves. Then in the next segments, we'll be getting ready for the Bhava Samadhi Darshan. We'll be just preparing ourselves, understanding the deeper context, what Bhava Samadhi Darshan is, where it is coming from, and the different scriptural references for it. So stay tuned. Let's deeply get ready for the Devi Bhava Samadhi Darshan after a very quick break.
Okay, thank you, Ma.
Yes. So right now you can take a few minutes as well and
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda.
காளியின் ஆட்டத்தை ஆனந்தத்தை ஆனந்தத்தொடு ஆடிய ஆட்டத்தை கண்டோர் உயிருக்குளெல்லாம் இறங்கி குண்டலினிவில் உயிர்ப்பிக்கச் செய்து மாய மனத்தின் இருளை அகற்றி மாயம் அழித்து மங்களம் தந்து குரு பக்தியும் சிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ சக்தியும் அளிக்கின்றேன். மனமாயை விடுத்து குரு பதத்தை பற்றுங்கள். நித்யானந்தமாய் நிஜாவதாரமாய் வந்துதித்த என்னை பற்றி வாழ்வில் எல்லா நலமும் பெற்றிடுங்கள். ஓம் ஓம் ஓம்.
யாதுமாகி நின்றாய் காளி. ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி. ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி. ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி.
ஓம் 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 ஓம். காளியின் ஆட்டத்தை ஆனந்தத்தை ஆனந்தத்தொடு ஆடிய ஆட்டத்தை கண்டோர் உயிருக்குளெல்லாம் இறங்கி குண்டலினிவில் உயிர்ப்பிக்கச் செய்து மாய மனத்தின் இருளை அகற்றி மாயம் அழித்து மங்களம் தந்து குரு பக்தியும் சிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ சக்தியும் அளிக்கின்றேன். மனமாயை விடுத்து குரு பதத்தை பற்றுங்கள். நித்யானந்தமாய் நிஜாவதாரமாய் வந்துதித்த என்னை பற்றி வாழ்வில் எல்லா நலமும் பெற்றிடுங்கள். ஓம் ஓம் ஓம்.
யாதுமாகி நின்றாய் காளி. ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி. ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி. ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி.
ஓம் 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 ஓம். காளியின் ஆட்டத்தை ஆனந்தத்தை ஆனந்தத்தொடு ஆடிய ஆட்டத்தை
கண்டோர் உயிருக்குளெல்லாம் இறங்கி குண்டலினிவில் உயிர்ப்பிக்கச் செய்து மாய மனத்தின் இருளை அகற்றி மாயம் அழித்து மங்களம் தந்து குரு பக்தியும் சிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ சக்தியும் அளிக்கின்றேன். மனமாயை விடுத்து குரு பதத்தை பற்றுங்கள். நித்யானந்தமாய் நிஜாவதாரமாய் வந்துதித்த என்னை பற்றி வாழ்வில் எல்லா நலமும் பெற்றிடுங்கள். ஓம் ஓம் ஓம்.
யாதுமாகி நின்றாய் காளி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி.
ஓம் 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 ஓம்.
காளியின் ஆட்டத்தை ஆனந்தத்தை ஆனந்தத்தொடு ஆடிய ஆட்டத்தை கண்டோர் உயிருக்குளெல்லாம் இறங்கி குண்டலினிவில் உயிர்ப்பிக்கச் செய்து மாய மனத்தின் இருளை அகற்றி மாயம் அழித்து மங்களம் தந்து குரு பக்தியும் சிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ பக்தியும் பரமசிவ சக்தியும் அளிக்கின்றேன். மனமாயை விடுத்து குரு பதத்தை பற்றுங்கள். நித்யானந்தமாய் நிஜாவதாரமாய் வந்துதித்த என்னை பற்றி வாழ்வில் எல்லா நலமும் பெற்றிடுங்கள். ஓம் ஓம் ஓம்.
யாதுமாகி நின்றாய் காளி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் காளி ஓம் சக்தி, ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி ஓம் சக்தி.
ஓம் 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 ஓம்.
காளியின் ஆட்டத்தை ஆனந்தத்தை ஆனந்தத்தொடு ஆடிய ஆட்டத்தை கண்டோர் உயிருக்குளெல்லாம்.
Nithyanandam, this is Ying from Belgium. I'm a disciple of the Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, and I have been following Swamiji for the last 6 years. So in this video, I would like to share an experience what I have in my life. About 5-6 years ago, my grandma unfortunately has diagnosed as a liver cancer, and actually at that time she needed a surgery for her, but the doctor did not suggest for her because she was already 80 years old. So it is quite dangerous for her to having surgery. But my grandma had the courage, and she still insists to having a surgery for her. So when I heard about it, I asked blessings, healing blessings from Swamiji for her to having a successful surgery. And inside my space, I felt very completed. And I knew at that time that she was going to be healed. So very luckily, very fortunately, my grandma had a successful surgery after Swamiji's blessings, and she has able to become recovered from the disease at a time. So I was very happy for her, and she was also very happy. So thanks for Swamiji's blessings. Thank you for your listening. Nithyananda.
Nithyanandam, I'm Saras and I'm from the UK, and I'm sharing why Swamiji, so why I follow Shri Nithyananda Paramashivam. And I have so many reasons, but I'm going to share one of my reasons now. So I'm a doctor, and before I met Swamiji, I found that even though I was practicing to the best that I knew, I was frustrated, I was tired, I was bored, and I was clock watching. I was always trying to give my best to my patients, but the frustration and boredom was always there. And soon after I met Swamiji, I asked for his blessings to leave my practice, and he didn't give it to me. And at that time I felt a little bit gutted, well, quite a bit. But when I came back from the program that I was attending at that time, which was Parashakti, immediately my practice changed. I started having this feeling connection to patients, feeling something deeper with them, being able to connect with them, wanting to be able to give myself to them. I wasn't clock watching. I wasn't looking at my watch and just feeling bored. I was alive, and I'm inspired, activated, and what I've seen is that I give my life to them. I always wish the best for them and practice on that basis. I even set Satya Sankalpas every day on my way to work that let my patients be healed, let Swamiji heal my patients, and let them always have the best. So this is something that Swamiji has given to me, and it's made such a tremendous impact in the way I practice as a doctor, and it's given me such a sense of fulfillment. Thank you, Swamiji. Thank you so much. Nithyananda.
had many, many miracles happen with the Nithyanandoham 1008. Actually, even before I got here, I met Swamiji for the first time in 2009. And during one of the darshans, I had asked Swamiji, in this lifetime, will I know you as me? And he said, yes, Ma, you will. So then going forward a few years, I was talking with a friend, and he was planning on coming to the Nithyanandoham, but was hesitant. So we were talking and reminiscing about past experiences we had in the LBE, and I had no intention whatsoever of coming here. And so then what happened was we were watching the satsang, and we're watching the glimpses, and then they showed the demo, the video for the Nithyanandoham. And Swamiji said, in this process, you will experience me as you. And I thought, oh my God, I asked Swamiji that in 2009. Swami's calling me back. So then I decided, yes, I'm going. I have no clue how I'm going to do it. There were several obstacles. So I got my plane ticket and needed more testing to test my intensity. And so what happened was actually 5 hours before the start of the program, Swamiji made it happen for me, the breakthrough. So it was quite an incredible experience. Now the other, there's so many miracles, I don't even know where to start, but one physical miracle that has happened for me is for about, I think for about 10 years or so, I've had these crazy rashes that I get from heat, and when I wear anything that is not gold or silver, my skin just breaks out. So even when I came here, it's pretty warm here, so I start sweating, and already my face was getting itchy, and little blisters were happening. My face was starting to swell. I thought, oh my God, no, here we go again, because usually it takes about 3 to 4 weeks for it to settle down. And the other thing is that I can hardly ever wear my bracelet, the one that Swami gave, because the moment I put it on, I break out. So. So then what happened a few days into the program, Swami was working on our muscle and biomemory, and we were writing down the powers that we wanted to experience, the possibilities we wanted to experience. And I thought, enough of these allergic reactions, like I've had it. So one of the possibilities that I wrote down was to be completely free of any allergies. And literally within a few days, the swelling went down my face, the blisters disappeared, and I've been wearing my bracelet blissfully, and no rash, nothing at all. So, and actually I got another bracelet, so now I can wear 2 happily. So thank you so much. Thank you, Swamiji. I'm deeply grateful.
My journey to Nithyanandoham has been more or less like a roller coaster for me. I was introduced to Swamiji sometime in January when my friend showed me a couple of videos, and when she was at her I made a lot of fun of her. I was like, what have you got yourself into? And it's only when I saw his videos, I was like, okay, you know what, this guy makes sense. Let's go and see what he's all about. And I decided to go for the May Inner Awakening. But it did not work out because my parents didn't give me permission for that, and they didn't believe in Swamiji. And I had taken blessings from Swamiji for the DIA. I did go for Kaltaru. I had a wealth creation session with me. And even after all this didn't work out, I was a little disappointed. I wondered why it didn't happen for me when everyone says, oh, you've got his blessing, it's going to happen. He said at the Tathastu. And it's only after that I disconnected myself completely from him. I was like, Swamiji is not meant for me, and no other guru is meant for me. And after that is when I disconnected from him and I found my seeking come alive. Somehow I had all these questions come up for absolute
His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. Let's start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nithyanandam Paramasukhanam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadasham Tattvamasyaadilakshയം Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Let's go through the disclaimers. Security measures. No photography, video, audio recording. Important cautions. Please be aware of the important cautions. What is power manifestation? Let's hear from Bhagavan himself explaining what is power manifestation.
All the 25 states of consciousness, when they happen in you, due to your chemicals and hormones ups and downs, it is powerlessness. When it happens in you, out of your free will and consciousness, it is powerfulness. That's all. When you fall into sleep, it is powerlessness. When you enter into sleep, it is powerfulness. When you fall into dream, it is powerlessness. When you decide to dream, it is powerfulness. So I have added the ultimate powerfulness, Turyatita, in your whole being and doing, manifest all the powers. Understand, power manifestation is nothing but cognitive shift. It is not work. It is cognitive shift. Understand? It is just cognitive shift. It's not work. Work is a 4-letter word. Power manifestation is cognitive shift, playing with life, playing with being alive. Static matter, dynamic activity, strategic existence, all these three has no boundary. You are one with it. You are alive in everything. Everything listens to you. Everything decides as you want. Power manifestation is cognitive shift, raising your frequency, not work.
Beautifully, Bhagavan explains what is power manifestation. It's raising your frequency. It's command over the reality and the cognitive shift that creates it. And it's a science, and millions have experienced that superconscious breakthrough. Doing the power manifestation, Bhagavan says, you poke holes in your self-doubt, self-denial, and continuously manifesting powers. You understand that you are consciousness, you are Paramashiva. Beautifully, Bhagavan gives us the ultimate technique for us to be in the superconscious space. And the pramanas, the evidences supporting this. The Shastra Pramana, the eternal unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures, the Vedas and the Agamas, the pure science and the applied science, how to live the superconscious space. Apta Pramana, the experience and the results of millions of Aptas, the Rishis, Ganas, Munis, Nainamas, Alvars, Siddhas, all of them authority of Hinduism, manifesting the powers of Paramashiva. Atma Pramana, account of His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, this millennium's avatar's personal experience of power manifestation. Bhagavan's very own Leelas to showcase how a cognitive shift can have the human manifest all the powers of Paramashiva. Shakshi Pramana, the experience of millions of disciple, devotees, followers all around the world manifesting the powers of Paramashiva initiated by Bhagavan. Bhagavan beautifully says, I myself will be there in the Kailasa courtyard, initiating all of you to manifest all the powers of Paramashiva, manifesting all the auspiciousness, abundance, and healing for each one of you. Literally, as prasada, we can receive from Bhagavan, each one of us. Pratyaksha Pramana, the scientific study measuring the effect of being in an enlightened state, not just the thoughtless space. We also experience the Shakti, which is manifestation of Paramashiva, which is also scientifically shown. Let's go to the Shastra Pramana. The Shastra Pramana, eternal, unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures, the Vedas and the Agamas. This is from Vijnana Bhairava Tantra. Vijnana, consciousness. Bhairava, one who experienced the consciousness beyond the mind. And Tantra is the method. How you can manifest powers. You have a method in which you can follow and manifest the powers. This is for the power of remote vision, the power to scan the objects in the house. And this is from the Sutra 63, Dharana 40.
युगपन्निर्विकल्पेन मनसा परमोदयः
Vijnana
युगपन्निर्विकल्पेन मनसा परमोदयः
leads you to the higher space of living.
The Shastra Pramana for the power of remote vision is taken from the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, Sutra 63, Dharana 40. Sarvam deham chinmayam hi jagatva aribhavayet yugapannirvikalpena manasa paramodayah. Sarvam deham chinmayam hi jagatva aribhavayet yugapannirvikalpena manasa paramodayah.
Bhagavan Paramashiva says one should continuously cognize, keeping the mind beyond the moment of thoughts, free from any doubt or root cognition, any root patterns, that the whole body and even the whole universe indeed are simultaneously of the essence and nature or of consciousness in the infinite space of oneness. Then supreme awakening happens. Bhagavan Paramashiva beautifully says how if we stop the movement of the thoughts and completely from all, unclutched from all the doubts and the root patterns, then the whole body and the mind, the universe, indeed simultaneously the essence of the nature of consciousness, infinite space, the supreme awakening happens. How the supreme awakening brings so much of auspiciousness and the proper reality that we can experience and experience beyond the birth and death cycle. How Bhagavan beautifully says how all the Mahatma, the Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Ramana Maharshi, how they lived their life beyond their thoughts and also initiated all their disciples and into the science of power manifestation, and all of them manifested these powers. Even the worst of worst who had no idea about all these cognition were able to be in the surrender of their guru, simply received the greatest gift. Like Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, he used to say that sometimes he would run away and close his doors on the new devotees, but when the Ghosh came and he was an alcoholist and he had all the issues, but he surrendered to Bhagwan's lotus feet. So even he was the 16th person who got initiated into sannyas and he got liberated. All these great signs are beautifully given whoever is ready, not what is the quality of us, but the quality of the guru who gives us the ultimate signs. The greatest gift that Bhagavan is giving each one of us, not because we are worth of, but he is worth of when we surrender our identities. This body that we carry, the dead body, is become active only when the consciousness is there in the body. Bhagavan beautifully says, the pinda is the dead body that we carry around. We have the stula, shushma and karana, sarira. We live in three bodies every day. When we are in awaken, waking state, we use this body. When we are lying down, we have a dream body. And when we are in deep sleep, we have the Karana, the complete no body, but it's much more deeper. Everybody is ready to do that task every day without getting bored throughout their life and in happiness is the deep sleep state that everybody want to experience, even though it has done every day and it is repeated. It is not bored for anybody, or we don't say it is it is tough to do it, or we don't want to do it. We are very clear that each one of us want to experience the ultimate. And getting, Bhagavan says, we are so sick of our thoughts, ourselves, that we want to get out for some time. That is why the dream state and deep sleep state, especially the deep sleep state, is experienced by each one of us to again and again attest that we are consciousness. But going through that unconsciously, we disappear into that nothingness. But consciously, we can go into it when we are surrendering the thoughts again to Bhagavan's lotus feet and raising ourselves to the Paramashiva space, who we are. Again and again, he gives us the glimpse. Start listening to who you are. He says so beautifully, you don't have to change anything. You don't have to do anything. All you need to do, understand, is unclutch from all that bondage that you have created and thinking this is the only body that we have. We have much beyond this body and the mind. We travel through 3 states every day. Then Bhagavan says there is a 4th state. You can be in that also, understanding if you don't leave it, all these things, it will forcefully leave for you. And that is very painful for us. Each time something really big takes away from us, and we go through the suffering of the birth and death cycle, and for us and who we are with. Understanding all this is a dream. How, when you have a bad dream, also you wake up and you're like so happy that it was just a dream. Same way, Bhagavan says, when you wake up as Paramashiva, you will understand all this bad dream that you think as suffering, pain, or whatever incompletion. It's not even there. You are in the lotus feet of Paramashiva, manifesting the highest reality. And each one of us can experience that. That is the reason why we are here. Not just for this body, which is a dead body, unless he is inside you, making you breathe, making you walk, making you talk. Even recognizing those things is because he exists in this body. Otherwise, the body is called dead body. This great science, when we understand and unclutch deeply from whatever we are going through, and understand that whatever we are engaging in the outer world, it is only a dream. When you wake up, it's not going to exist, or it's going to be pulled out and make you understand it doesn't exist. If we wake up, it is an inspired, beautiful space, and more auspiciousness and abundance happen. When it wakes up us, then it is very powerful. It is a root, like we crash land and then wake up at Bhagavan's feet asking for all the blessing without understanding that we are the cause of that. If we wake up beautifully into the space of oneness, we flower into the ultimate consciousness. And that is what it says. When you are out of the doubt and root cognition that your identity, what you are, then the whole body, even the whole universe, indeed, simultaneously, essence and nature of consciousness in the infinite space of oneness, then the supreme awakening happens. That is Paramashiva. And beautifully, more and more, you start getting engaged with the Paramashiva space in you, seeing and getting aware with that. You start recognizing the higher reality. Apta Pramanas are the greatest rishis and munis, ganas, all of them have experienced the greater science. And this is from the time where the Pandya king, Kulasagar, the Pandya king, that time they had the vision where he went and sat under a tree. He got a vision of how to build a temple and people, all the god and goddesses doing the yajna. And he was guided into the detail of even where the street should be, where mandapam should be, where the tank should be. Into that detail, he saw in his remote vision, and he constructed all these temples. If you listen to all the temple story, like how Bragadeshwara temple, which was covered with 250 tons of gold, whereas the gold we know it is with the British Museum, where they have noted this clearly, that 250 tons of gold covering the whole temple. That is how all the temples were built of gold. And not only there, all over the Asia, the temples were built of gold. Different forms of Hinduism, Jainism, Buddhism, all the Hinduism had the greatest signs, and so many scriptures were translated into Chinese, into Nepalese. All the greatest things were given to everybody at the free cost to experience the ultimate consciousness. And here, this is from Thiruvilayadal Puranam, Madurai Kandam, and clearly notes how these great signs were possible. Bhagavan beautifully explains how a villager could experience this great science and how he manifested the powers. In India, everything is God. If they have a brick, they paint it as linga. They have a tree, they paint it as kalpavriksha. They paint everything with turmeric and kumkum and worship everything as Paramashiva, the most beautiful space. Bhagavan explains in his own words.
He told, do you know this is Shiva? I worship. He appeared in my dream and told that you are lying on him. Truth, really. Understand? So that's why I came here. And he brought a small pillow. That's another beautiful thing. He brought a pillow. Lie down on this pillow and leave him there. Put that murti back. From 1 mile, he was lying down in his home. He says, I had a dream. Shiva told me that one sadhu is lying on me. Take that. And he brought the pillow and told me to put the big that side. We don't know who all are having connection to what all. Just his deep love for that ordinary brick, which is used for construction, can create a telepathy power in him. Understand? I read an article. American army is trying to develop telepathy power to use during the war times.
Beautiful. How Bhagavan is talking about the telepathy power here. The villager, the story goes where Bhagavan says the villager had a foreigner and the foreigner wanted to buy the linga because it's so amazing how he was having the telepathy power. And the villager sold it to a foreigner and Bhagavan was shocked. He said not to put his head, but why did you sell it? He asked him. And so beautifully the villager answers that I only did a prana pratishtha to that stone as linga. I can do for millions. I have the power to create millions of linga. That's perfectly fine. And such a beautiful space, he says, a villager could have, that he could see beyond his body, that he can exist as a linga in different forms. That is exactly how he's teaching us, beyond this body, beyond the mind, if we can perceive something that is the consciousness. How beautifully Bhagavan says, the water, when we drink sea water, it is so salty and we can't drink it. But when same water, if you do a desalination and all that, it is still not very tasty. But the same water, when the sun on it and evaporates the water and goes to the space and falls as rain, it is so sweet. How does it change the whole taste into such a beautiful, amazing taste? When the consciousness is awakened, it goes through the space. When it merges through the space, it becomes the ultimate reality. Bhagavan says, if you can see a little bit more than your body and your mind, you understand that you are consciousness, you are Paramashiva. You become so pure and so beautiful, you can manifest all the powers of Paramashiva. And beautifully here, this devotee is explaining how he was able to see the person's house in much more detailed way, into the detail of even where the make of this was. So let's hear from this devotee.
And I'm a holistic beauty and health practitioner. It was a remote vision about scanning a house, and I could scan the whole living room of the person which is sitting in front of me, which I never met. I would never even saw his house, and I could see all the furniture, his television, the closets. I saw boxes and books. I saw actually his whole living room. So the guy was trying to get me more difficult questions, and then he said, like, can you see where I bought the table? And then I was able to look under beneath the table, and I saw the mark made in Morocco. And I said that, and he says, oh yes, that's really true. And then he even asked me, can you see a glass and chandelier? And I said, yes, it's on your dining table. I saw straight away where it was. And I could also look under beneath it, and I could see it was made in Italy, in Venice. So when I said it, the man really was always like, oh my God, this is so amazing. So
with this, let's go to the instruction. Beautifully, he was able to say the make, where the table was made, where the make of the chandelier, everything so in detail. That is the remote scanning that really gives us how much we can connect to something beyond our sight. That is what Bhagavan says. Your utility is not your real sight. Your third eye is the sight which can connect to something more than what you think as body and mind. And simply you can recognize the higher space as it is in any direction, any place, just so beautifully. Now, let's go to the guidelines and manifest the powers of remote vision. If you have Jnananjan in the Kantamala, you can apply in your third eye and your temples. And you can tell which all partners you're going to scan the house for what object. But let it be a very specific object so you can really tell the details of the object in the place where it is and how it is kept, or where, which room and which place it is kept. Even if you recognize this power manifestation is not to achieve anything or understand that it is not to get something, but it is to recognize the Paramashiva space in us. That is the main aim of this power manifestation. If you recognize even a little and celebrate, you have understood that you have the possibility. And you can simply manifest the huge powers. But starting, we are just putting the foundation here. These power manifestations where you can recognize your Paramashiva space. So let's sit straight with the head, neck and spine in a straight line. For Kundalini, raise to your Agnya. Bring Paramashiva, Parashakti to your third eye, or Krishna or Ishtadevata through your third eye. Again and again, visualize, verbalize only the Ishtadevata in your third eye. An absolute unclutching from the thoughts. Thoughts are not required. You did not require for sleep. So you don't have to require for this session. You tell very clearly, I am with Paramashiva, I have an appointment. I do not encourage any thoughts for that matter. And unclutch from every thought by chanting the Mahavakya deeply from your navel center, where the DNA starts flowering into multiple strands and raising your frequency when you have the deep listening to it into the higher dimensions, entangling with Bhagavan in the oneness space. Bhagavan is already in the quantum space. When we entangle in with the frequency, higher frequency, we are able to grasp the higher dimensions of us and manifest the higher powers. So let's start chanting for few minutes, put away everything. Let's be in the deep meditative space with Parashakti and be in the oneness space to bring all the auspiciousness and abundance for us and everybody around us. And whatever Bhagavan gives us as prasada, as remote vision, make a note of it. And at the end of the cycle, we'll verify with the partner. Let's start chanting the Mahavakya for the power of remote vision, scanning the objects in the house.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham.
Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour Let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us.
Paramashivoham, 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 Paramashivoham.
Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eye. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Paramashivoham, Paramashivoham.
Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us.
Paramashivoham, 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 Paramashivoham.
Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Paramashivoham, Paramashivoham,
Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Paramashivoham, Paramashivoham,
Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us.
Paramashivoham, 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 Paramashivoham.
Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Paramashivoham, Paramashivoham,
Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us.
Paramashivoham, 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 Paramashivoham.
Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om 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 Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Paramashivoham, Paramashivoham,
Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the
Beautiful. Whatever Bhagavan is showing as prasada, please open your eyes and verify the details with all the partners that you have scanned the people's houses for the object, and authentically write down or make a picture of whatever is come true. And simply you recognizing your higher space is getting prepared for Devi to land. Again and again, he asks us to do power manifestation, is to prepare ourselves. Only if we are prepared, Bhagavan can land on us, and the retention of the whole Shakti will become auspiciousness and abundance in our life. Again and again, Bhagavan is preparing us. All this power manifestation, Bhagavan clearly says, pokes your self-doubt, self-denial, and self-hatred, which you think you are not Paramashiva, you are not ultimate, you are not Parashakti, which again and again he raises you so that he can flood you into the higher consciousness. And he prepares us intensely before he lands and manifests in our life as Parashakti. All this greater science, when a guru does only the surrender, the deep gratitude, again and again surrendering to his lotus feet, is the only way for us to recognize the higher space and higher reality. Again and again, he gives us these power manifestation as a small science, which we sit with a cup of coffee or a chocolate and then experience the oneness with entangling with Bhagavan in such a sweet space. When we know the history that it is the tapas they all do to even reach a little bit. Bhagavan beautifully gives an example of an ant. If an ant try crawling up the mountain, it's going to be ages or how many janmas. But if the ant is kept on his shoulder and he goes to the top of the mountain, just flies, how many minutes or seconds he's going to take us to. That is what Bhagavan says. When you're prepared to receive me, I will be able to land in you and make you fly up the mountain just like that, beyond all this suffering, into the awakened state of Paramashiva. All that he is giving us again and again, intense Mahavakya detox programs, and make us realize that we are Paramashiva. And more the recognition of that space, the Turiya space, he can initiate us into the enlightened space. That is why he is giving us such a beautiful things that for us to manifest as reality, each one of us, few powers we recognize that is beyond our logical mind, we start understanding logic is not required. Logic is just mere human way of living. We can live as superconscious being because we are the chosen ones. Brahmanya Bahuputratam. Favorite inheritance of the cosmos. You're like a $1 trillion kid here sitting. If you are in this session, Bhagavan beautifully says, I have chosen you, I have brought you here, and you will simply manifest all my powers because you are in the Kailash courtyard. And beautifully, he explains how we are the possibilities of the humanities, which is 8 billion people and 84 million species. Being in such a gratitude for what he has done to us and being in the space of oneness, we can manifest all the powers of Paramashiva. We'll have one more cycle. We will have deep meditation for few more minutes to experience the oneness with Paramashiva. Deeply engage yourself only in the space of Paramashiva, who you are. Recognize that space. All that you're clutched with, the outer world. Few minutes, let go all that. Whatever thought comes, let it come. Do not disturb them, but it is not yours. Recognize that it is not yours. What is yours, which belongs to you, is the self, the consciousness, Paramashiva, Parashakti. Hold that as the ultimate. You came with that before you were born. What was there? After you die, what was going to be there? And in your deep sleep, what is there? The Paramashiva space. Hold on to that for a few minutes and see how you can manifest all the auspiciousness and abundance. The next reality, the possibilities are n dimension that is given to us. The self-effulgence, the sarvagnyatva, the healing possibilities, all that abundance, all that starts flowering in us when we recognize the Paramashiva space in us, not the human space. Human space is limited to this body, which is literally a dead body, and only that much function it can do. But if you recognize the Paramashiva space, it's like Bhagavan says, a Swiss bank account is opened for you and said, please go ahead and use it. You can just withdraw whatever you want. You can start recognizing the higher reality. So let's start deeply meditating. Sit straight with your head, neck, and spine in a straight line. Intensely bring Parashakti or Krishna to your third eye. Again and again, melt in Krishna's lotus feet. Whatever Ishta Devata that Bhagavan has given you as the dimension for you to recognize him, go ahead and merge with him. Merge into the oneness space and chant the Mahavakya from your navel center. Your whole body being vibrating into the next frequency, you will start recognizing your higher dimensions, higher possibilities. Let's start chanting the Mahavakya to scan few people's house for the objects in the house specifically and the remote vision that Bhagavan has given as prasada today. Let's experience the oneness with Paramashiva, chanting the Mahavakya and listening to the Mahavakya.
Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivoham.
Paramashivoham. Paramashivoham.
Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes.
Paramashivoham.
Let the Amrita pour. Let the Vani open up. Manifest in all of us.
Paramashivoham, 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 Paramashivoham,
Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eye. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Verification process for finding the object in others' house.
Such a beautiful space, the verification and manifestation that Bhagavan is showering all of us and preparing us for the darshans and all these great signs. Please share the powerful cognition and power manifestation. When you enrich the world, you start recognizing that everything that exists is Paramashiva. How that Bhagavan described, the man could see a stone as Paramashiva. If you're able to recognize the higher dimensions in the other objects as reality, simply you will start recognizing the Paramashiva space in you. Everything that Bhagavan has given the Samyama just to recognize Paramashiva in everyone. When Uddhava asked Krishna, what is that he wanted, the last teachings, Krishna told Uddhava that everything is Krishna. Go ahead and fall in love with everything as Krishna. You will recognize the Krishna in you. And it's so easy to see in others than ourselves. And so easy to tell others than ourselves. When we make others experience the Paramashiva, we become Paramashiva. Go ahead and enrich and cause. That is why enriching and causing is, Bhagavan says, integrity, authenticity, responsibility. You have to do it. Enriching and causing, I myself will manifest through you, because it makes you as Paramashiva, as the initiation itself. So please go ahead, spend 5 minutes, thank Bhagavan, and post all your comments and your beautiful experiences, and thank Bhagavan for whatever he's offering us. And if you see the $ in the YouTube, go ahead and contribute to Kailasa for all the offerings from Kailasa for each one of us, showering for each one of us that Bhagavan is giving us, that we'll realize slowly and slowly in our life how amazing and important it is. For without that, how do our life even exist? Such a beautiful space. Go ahead and whatever you offer, that becomes the dharma, and it protects you and becomes a kavacha for each one of you, means the protection. When you support dharma, dharma supports you and brings all the auspiciousness and abundance. With that deep gratitude for Bhagavan to manifest all this in all of us, and deep earning that Paramashiva to become existential reality in all of us as prayer, and thanking each and every one of you who are in the sessions, hundreds of you all over the world, manifesting the powers, holding the highest cognition that you are Paramashiva is the ultimate space, thanking each one of you. And with the deep gratitude, let's end the session with the Purna Mantra. Today's session will be over with this, and let's thank Bhagavan and end this session with the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamudashyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavate Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam Padukarpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam. Thank you so much. See you in after the next satsang, next darshan in the next session. This session will be closed right now. Thank you, Nithyanandam.